CFS Beaverlodge. Canadian Forces Station Beaverlodge ADC ID C21 is a closed general surveillance radar station. It is located 9 miles 9 km east-northeast of Beaverlodge, Alberta. It was closed in 1988. It was operated as part of the Pinetree Line network controlled by NORAD. History. As a result of the Cold War and with the expansion of a North American continental air defense system, the site at Saskatoon Mountain was selected as a site for a United States Air Force USAF radar station, one of the many that would make up the Pinetree Line of ground control intercept GCI radar sites. Construction on the base began in 1952 and was completed by 1953. The base was manned by members of the USAF Air Defense Command ADC 919th Aircraft Control and Warning Squadron, being known as Saskatoon Mountain Air Station. In February 1953, operations began at the unit's permanent home. The station was equipped with /FPS-3C and /FPS-502 and /FPS-20A and /TPS-502 and /FPS-6B radars. As a GCI base, the 915th's role was to guide interceptor aircraft toward unidentified intruders picked up on the unit's radar scopes. These interceptors were based at Larson Air Force Base in Washington. The ground-air transmitting receiving Gatter site for communications was located at 55-1316 and 119-17 W, approximately 11 miles southwest from the main site. Normally, the Gatter site was connected by a pair of buried telephone cables with a backup connection of dual telephone cables overhead. The coordinate data transmitting set CDTS and /FSD2 at the main site converted each radar return into a digital word, which was transmitted by the Gatter via microwave to the control center. In the early 1960s, the USAF relinquished control of the base to the Royal Canadian Air Force RCAF. This was part of an arrangement with the United States that came as a result of the cancellation of the Avro Arrow. Canada would lease 66 F-101 Voodoo fighters and take over operation of 12 Pinetree radar bases. Upon handover on 1 April 1963, the operating unit was redesignated 57 Aircraft Control and Warning Squadron and the base RCAF Station Saskatoon Mountain. Radars at the station were also upgraded to the following equipment: search radars and /FPS-3C and /FPS-502 and /FPS-20A, height radars and /TPS-502 and /FPS-6B. On 1 May 1964, radar operations at 57 Squadron were automated by the semi-automatic ground environment SAGE system, and the station became a long-range radar site. It would no longer guide interceptors but only look for enemy aircraft, feeding data to the Spokane Air Defense Sector SAGE DC-15 Direction Center of the 25th NORAD region at Larson, AFB, Washington. In November 1963, 57 AC and W Squadron, RCAF Station Saskatoon Mountain became 57 Radar Squadron, RCAF Station Beaverlodge. The station had a rather majestic postal address of Trumpeter, Alberta. As a result of the unification of the Canadian Forces in 1968, the new Canadian Forces organization absorbed the RCAF, RCN, and the Canadian Army. 57 Radar Squadron, RCAF Station Beaverlodge became simply Canadian Forces Station CFS Beaverlodge in 1966. Also in 1966, the facilities at Larson AFB were closed, and control of the station was switched to the SAGE Direction Center at McCord AFB, Washington, D.C. 12. The station was administratively accountable to Canadian Forces Air Defense Command and its successor fighter group. In August 1984, Beaverlodge became part of the Canada West ROC. The station carried on its assigned duties until operations ceased on 1 April 1988. Today, the facilities of the radar station have been removed, and the land is now a cleared grassy site with little or no evidence of its military past.